You're watching the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. Now here's your hosts, Tom, Nick, and Dave. It's you, it's me, it's N.R.D. It's you, it's me, it's N.R.D. Uh-huh. Let's start the show.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is you, it is me, it is M, it is D. Welcome to the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. You might be wondering where Tom is. Well, Tom's doing wedding things. We'll let you know more on that later. No, he's at a friend's wedding, and he was too busy to watch wrestling this weekend. Nick is a father of 2 infants, and he runs his own business, and he's not feeling well. So put some love in the comments for Nick. What?
I don't think Owen is an infant.
He's a child. He is a child. And before I was so rudely interrupted, today, folks, is a very important day because it is July 12th and it is someone's birthday today. It is a very important person's birthday. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today, Sami Zayn turns 41. So let's give it up for Sami Zayn.
Is it really Sami Zayn's birthday?
It is really Sami Zayn's birthday, but I'm just kidding. I'm not going to let Sami Zayn hog the spotlight because Sami Zayn's never been on this broadcast, okay? And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to celebrate somebody who has been on this broadcast multiple times, who has supported this broadcast from day one. Ladies and gentlemen, you know whose birthday it is today? Frank Spahic of Pro Wrestling Tees, who can make you a Wrestling Nerd Broadcast shirt born on the 12th of July. And you know who else's birthday it is? A wise man once said, "Number 44, that's me!" Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts. And it is Margaret's 44th birthday as we record this today, everyone. 44 years young. The Iggy Shuffle. And she's...
Is that really... Wait, is that why you shared that video before? Because he was number 44?
Well, it's number 44. I don't know if Iggy wore number 44, but I know that in the commercial, it's number 44. Woo! Number 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Magnificent Margaret's 44th birthday today. And in honor of that, Tony Khan decided to hold a big old wrestling event deep in the heart of Texas. She has seen the basement at the Alamo. She has... I don't know what else there is to do in Texas. Welcome, Margaret. Thanks for coming on. Margaret just attended All In at Globe Life Field in Texas, and she decided to join us because nobody else would. So...
Well, thank you for having me.
It's an honor.
I'm at like 8% voice right now, so I don't know what I sound like. It's rough.
You sound better than Darby Allin at the top of Mount Everest, we'll say that. But we'll get to that, ladies and gentlemen. So let me ask you this, Margaret. How hot is it in Texas right now? Because here in New York, it's blistering hot.
Well, it's not just the heat, it's also the humidity.
Well, that's what gets you.
I have been to Texas in July before. I've been to Texas twice before, and both times that I was down here, it was during the summer. And it's not just the heat, it's the humidity. The humidity will kill you. Like you could drink a gallon of water and never have to go to the bathroom because the humidity will kill you.
That's how they all get really drunk down there.
It also, it rained this morning. And when we got to the stadium, like the sun had come out, there was no rain. But then when we left, it was raining. So
just like WrestleMania.
It's just adding on to the humidity. It's just adding on.
Raining after a very long pay-per-view, Margaret. It's like you've done this before. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Margaret was there at WrestleMania 35 with me on Kathleen's birthday.
Poster.
Which up until today was the longest recorded wrestling show on pay-per-view. And WWE or AEW beat that today by about 45 minutes. Holy shit. With less matches.
And that doesn't even count like 0 hour.
It doesn't even include 0 hour.
Right, you're not counting 0 hour.
I didn't include
right?
0 hour. So 0 hour from here in New York was 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. From 3 o'clock to about 9 was All In full hour. After.
Let's see. So they opened the doors to Globe Life Field, Globe Life Stadium They opened the doors down here 11:30 Texas time. So that's when we got here, so that we could get inside. We wanted to get in, check things out. We were like, we flew all the way down because normally, like, I don't want to say that I don't care about 0 hour, but that's not where like the stuff that I'm really excited to see. Like, I'm not buying a pay-per-view to watch matches. Right. So yeah, no.
Oh, we'll get to it.
I'm not about that. But we figured we flew 1,000 miles down here. We may as well like get our money's worth out of the show. So we got there when it opened. We got inside. We were like, we're gonna see the pre-show matches. I thought there were only gonna be 2. There were 3 pre-show matches. We watched all 3 of them. And then of course we were there for the whole pay-per-view. So we got there at 11:30 and we didn't leave the parking lot until like 8:30. So we were down there for 9 hours. Excuse me. We were down there for 9 hours. That's a long fucking day.
Yes, it is. And I'm just looking at the match times really quickly, unofficial on Wikipedia. So the first match, we'll go through this too, but also really quick, how is the stadium? Because I've never seen a wrestling. Well, actually, that's a lie. I have seen a wrestling show or two at a wrestling stadium, but it was a minor league stadium. But what was it like at Globe Life Field with the setup and whatnot? Because all the seats are angled towards like home plate typically. They're not supposed to be like facing the outfield.
No, so it was actually a really nice stadium. I was really glad that it was indoors. I've never been to an enclosed like baseball stadium before. So temperature wise, it was very comfortable. It never felt like unbearable. There was a moment or two where I got like a little chill from the AC. But part of that is also the general energy in the room, but it never felt cold. Like this is what I was wearing. Like I could get up and chill. So I was wearing
I think it'll be the thumbnail.
I was wearing is that water? Oh, thank you. Hold on, more water.
And a referee has now made an appearance.
Yes. You want to come say hello to all the fans?
All 6 people who watch this thing. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. The man that inspired timeless Tony Storm's outfit this evening. Stunning Steve.
You should have gone on down there, helped her out.
But I came back.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're fine.
Good. We're fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you.
How do you like that, folks? That's why you watch this broadcast, for run-ins like that.
The special guest star, this big surprise of the night.
There you go.
So anyway, so I was wearing this dress, and I wasn't like uncomfortable. I wasn't like overheated. I wasn't cold. I was comfortable like the whole time. And sometimes you're sitting in a wrestling show and you're shoulder to shoulder with a lot of big wrestling fans, and sometimes it gets a little hot in there. Like I was comfortable the whole time I was there.
Very nice.
So,
well, I'm glad.
It seems like a nice stadium too. I mean, I don't know what it looks like when it's set up for baseball, but it seems like a nice place.
I think it's one of, if not like the newest stadium in Major League Baseball. I'm pretty sure.
Nice. Steve said that it's very nice.
Steve's been to a lot of baseball stadiums, so I'll take his word over everything then. So that counts.
It would be a nice place to see a game.
Okay.
He said it would be a nice place to see a game.
It's where they hosted the 2020 World Series during COVID. So between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Los Angeles Dodgers.
But it was easy to get around. It didn't feel like overwhelming. Sometimes you the only baseball stadiums, like Major League Baseball stadiums I've been to Yankee Stadium and I've been to Citi Field, and those can feel like very overwhelming because
you went to Shea Stadium, in fairness.
I don't think I saw a Mets game there.
Still count.
I went to like a concert. I didn't see a baseball game there.
Very true. But yeah, so let's go down this.
Hold on. Big Steve wants to join.
I just want to say that the what was called the ballpark in Arlington is still there. It's been repurposed as something else. And then there's a big circular dump of the stadium behind Globe Life Field called AT&T Stadium, but I can't like that stadium because there's a certain football team that I hate that plays there. Have fun.
Fun fact,
Yeah.
the Green Bay Packers won a Super Bowl in that building, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. How do I know that? I don't know. Actually, you know why I do remember that? Because they had like put in seats, like extra seats to like get more people in the stadium, and you couldn't they like the safety commission was like, yeah, people cannot sit here. These seats are not safe to be in. So they had to like refund people who bought Super Bowl tickets. You're welcome, everyone.
Wow. Look at that fun, exciting trivia.
I know. It's really wild. Also, biggest WrestleMania gate ever right there. Well, biggest WrestleMania crowd for a single night team. For a single night event, I should say.
500 anyway.
So last time I checked, the Arlington Stadium where the Texas Rangers used to play, that is where the Arlington Renegades of the UFL played. And the
Wow.
fun fact. All right, let's break down this card here. We started with the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes, Marshall Von Erich, Sammy Guevara, and Ross Von Erich. They beat a bunch of guys. What was it like to see Kevin Von Erich, the only remaining Von Erich still alive? Big pop for that Texas legend.
Yes, yes. You could only do that down in Texas because I don't think people care as much anywhere else. You know, cool to see a living Von Erich, but you know, how old can he be? How old is he?
Very? I don't know. Let's see what we've got.
I wasn't expecting much. I mean, I was not surprised to see a Von Erich come out. But I wasn't
He was born in
like,
57, so what would that make him?
that make him like 68, depending upon what month.
Yeah.
If he was born in 50,
Yeah.
Dad was born in 47, and Dad just
Jesus.
turned 78.
There we go.
So
Told
he's
you.
younger than Dad. But
and then,
he was also a professional wrestler in the 70s. So, you know, that ages people 10 years too. So,
boy, does it. Then in the main event of the evening, during 0 hour, it was Big Boom AJ and the Conglomeration versus the Don Callis family, in which we saw Trent Beretta assault a child. It was fucking wild.
popped for that.
Oh my god, it was huge. What a hell of a bump. What a hell of a bump.
Everybody around me was like, boom, boom. I was like, yeah.
I'll say this though, it did inspire me
I'll
mid-match.
say this.
It inspired me mid-match to just turn to my wife and just go, we should go to Costco next week because we're running low on toilet paper. So next week, if you're in the Danbury area, you want to say hi, come say hi to me at Costco. We bring the boom. Please go on.
That's the Costco I shop at too.
It's the nearest one.
I thought you said you were a BJ's man.
I am, but we have a Costco membership, and Costco gives me anxiety. Their pizza's good though. So in the other match on 0 hour, we had FTR versus the Outrunners.
I just want to say this. When it came to those first couple of matches, from where I was sitting, I couldn't enjoy them as much as I would have because they had the screens, you know, above the ring.
Yep.
So you can see, you know, so I could see basically what you were seeing on TV. I didn't fly 1,000 miles and pay what I paid for the ticket so that I could watch it on TV. I just look at the screens when the action is at a spot where I can't see it from where I'm sitting.
Yep.
So like if it's on the floor or in the crowd somewhere or like on the other side of the ring, like on the floor, on the ramp, like then I'll look because then I can see what's happening. But when you've got like more than 4 people in the ring, like in a match, it can get very confusing trying to see like who's who, especially if people may have a similar build or a similar hair or a similar outfit. You know, it's hard to tell who's who and everybody apart sometimes, and to see like who's jumping here and who's fighting this guy. So personally, in person, from a distance, like in a big show like this, I don't necessarily enjoy those kind of matches. It'd be different watching it from home or seeing it in a much smaller, intimate space. But from far away, it's like, you know, I could tell it's Lance Archer.
Yeah. I get
But
it.
I was like, I don't know who pushed that kid. Was it Rocky? Was it Trent?
It was Trent. Rocky Romero is the guy who is the same height as Big Justice, and it just made me sad. It's like, how's he seeing eye to eye with this 10-year-old? What the hell?
I will say this though, that kid, whatever the fuck his name is, he took a bump like a champ, and I was like,
yeah.
okay, you know what? I give you credit for that. I'm not happy you're here, but I give you credit for taking a bump. Good on you, kid. Good on you. Now go away.
Now go in the back and take a bump with Uncle Kevin Von Erich. Then we go to the main show. So first of all, just to let you know those match times. So we were at 7 minutes, 15 seconds, 12 minutes and 45 seconds, and 16 minutes, 10 seconds. The matches just get progressively longer as the night goes on. We open the main card with the Ops versus the Death Riders. The Ops, of course, victorious over the Death Riders. Are you happy that was the opening match?
No, I was surprised. I thought for sure they would have opened with one of the gauntlet matches because I thought in previous years they had. And I was just really shocked that that was going to be because I say this respectfully to all the wrestlers. It's not a match that I overly cared about. I wasn't expecting the Ops to lose.
Yep.
So it's not a match that I'm like, wow, like what could happen? Like I'm not super excited for that.
True.
I could see that being like a palate cleanser match.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't see it as like the opening. I thought for sure they were going to open with the men's gauntlet. Like that's what I thought they were going to open with.
I thought another match would have opened the show, but we'll get to that when we get there. MJF wins the men's casino gauntlet match in a 35-minute classic. I think this concept is really cool. However, my problem is that there's no set interval time, so it's like, is
Not
a
at
guy
all.
gonna come? Is like nobody else coming? Like I understand the fact
They
that
had some big breaks too. Like there were like at one point
there was
I don't remember
points where there was like 5 minutes between guys.
I think like maybe after like Juice Robinson came out, I thought like that's it. Well, no, because did Brody come out by then, or maybe it was after the.
Let's see. So the order was Mark Briscoe, MJF, Ricochet, Bandito, Konosuke Takeshita, Mystico, Josh Alexander, Anthony Bowens, Roderick Strong, Brody King, Juice Robinson, Kota Ibushi, The Beast Mortos, and Max Caster. 14 people in that match.
Okay, so at one point, maybe it was after Mortos, but like at one point, I thought like they're done. You know, they brought everybody out, and then they waited what felt like 10 minutes, and then some. Then they did a countdown
and then Max
again.
Came out, yeah.
Right, and I was like, why are you bringing somebody else out? Like, you've gone too long.
Like it makes sense because you can like time down like certain spots and whatnot. Like it was MJF going for Bandito's mask. I'm like, oh, it makes all sense now. Let's send out Mystico right now. But yeah, there needs to be a set number of entrants and a set time interval, you know. But that's just me.
It's too much. Like you're trying to, again, you're cramming too much in.
Yep.
And you've just got like similar builds, similar hair, similar outfits. And then of course Juice shaved his.
Margaret's frozen.
Caught me off guard. And you know, so you're trying to tell everybody apart and you're trying to look at the action everywhere, and it's too much that they tried to cram in. It wasn't necessary to cram all of that in there. Although I did give a big pop when Juice came back. I screamed pretty hard for him.
I like the fact that they did every attempt to get everyone on the show. But like you could have put there was no, besides MJF, there is no absolute mega superstar in either of those battle royals where you couldn't validate it being on the pre-show. You had a 2-hour pre-show and the first hour had nothing.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yes,
like you could have totally done those gauntlets
on earlier. 0 hour. 100%. Yes. And that would have taken an hour off this show. Because, like I said, that was...
They bloated them too much. They bloated them way out. And they didn't even announce, like, who was going to be in the Battle Royals. They announced some of them for the men, but they showed more of the men, like, on the card.
On the little graphic.
And for the women's, they only showed Statlander and Megan Bayne.
So I really thought Megan Bayne had a chance to just end it right away. But...
And neither one of them won.
Nope. let's see. So we've got MJF. Then in the surprise of the night, well, they brought out Adam Cole to let him give his farewell address. Because from what we are being reported, MJF has some serious concussion issues.
You mean Adam
And
Cole?
yes, what I say.
He said MJF.
Well, I mean, maybe he does. He wrestled pretty stiff that night. But yes, Adam Cole has some concussion issues, was not able to get medically cleared. So they had a fatal four-way between Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Kyle Fletcher, and Danny Garcia. And Adam Cole made everyone cry. It's crying time with Adam Cole, baby.
100%. Like I was already. So first of all, when they said that he wasn't going to be cleared to compete, I was not expecting him to come out and address the crowd. So in my head, I thought Kyle's going to win this match.
Yep.
So there's not really like this was thrown together at the last minute. It seemed obvious that Kyle would win it. So I wasn't even going to hang around I was going to get up
and get some funnel cake.
Go to well, probably. But I was gonna get up and like go use the restroom, go get something to drink. And just as I'm about to get up, Adam Cole's music hits, and I'm like, oh, well, I can't,
Excuse me.
During Adam Cole. So he comes down the ramp and he gives his speech and he starts crying. So I'm starting to feel emotional. And then Kyle and Roddy come in the ring and give him a big hug. I just lost it. And then when he goes up the ramp and Daniel Garcia comes out and he gives Adam a big hug. Now I'm crying all over again. I'm just like,
my God, blow your nose.
Like I lost it. I was so heartbroken. And then after they came down to the ring, I did go and I did like go to the bathroom. But one of the perks of being a female wrestling fan is that the line for the restroom is non-existent. The line for the men's room was like half a mile long. Steve was like, I'll wait. I was like, in and out. Nobody was waiting online for the ladies' room. I was like, how the tables have turned, boys. How the tables
must be turned. Nice. Must be nice.
But I got back. I did get to see most of the match. Which was also another nice thing about the layout of the stadium is that where we were, everything was really close by. So we didn't have to go far to get food. We didn't have to go far to use the restroom. Like everything was right there. So we were good. And I was surprised. I think everybody around me was surprised that Dustin won. Because everybody thought for sure Kyle's going to win it. But then I saw that tweet that I sent you where somebody said, the air got sucked out of the room after Adam Cole's speech, which it absolutely did because everybody was just so heartbroken. But that they needed to have a feel-good moment. And they had even said during the pre-match package, they said that Dustin had never won a title in AEW.
Yep.
And that's true. And he's been in AEW since the beginning.
Yep.
And so him being from Texas, winning a title after Adam Cole has to not yet retire, was a feel-good moment. The crowd was on its feet for it. They were very happy for him. It was a very sweet moment. And then seeing Aubrey hand him the belt, she's crying too. It was a very sweet moment to see all that. Him hugging the Von Erichs and hugging Sammy, it was very, very touching. But still everybody was surprised because we all thought for sure Kyle's gonna win it. But I guess Kyle Fletcher, he can challenge later. They just needed tonight in that moment for Dustin to which he did. And it was very sweet. And it brought everybody back a little bit because Adam Cole is so charming and so talented and so popular that if he has to stop wrestling, that's really hard for people to hear that news tonight. So that was nice to have that feel good moment afterwards.
Prime NXT Adam Cole in 2018-19 is arguably one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Mine too.
When we were there in Brooklyn all weekend, we were just yelling out Adam Cole. You could yell it across the street to somebody. Boom, they knew. They own it.
And you know what's funny is I was thinking about that when I went to the show tonight, because when we were walking across the parking lot to get into the stadium, all I heard was people screaming, "Whose house? Swerve's house! Whose house? Swerve's house!" And I was thinking, like, years back, it used to be Adam Cole, baby,
Well, it'd be great if somebody yelled, "Whose house? Adam Cole! Michael Cole! Boo!" So let's see. So yes, Dustin Rhodes wins the Fatal 4-Way in the second shortest match of the evening on the main card at 15:45. Then we go to Swerve and Ospreay versus the Young Bucks.
I think that's where I started to.
I really like the Young Bucks. They're my favorite tag team of all time, probably. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
I mean,
they look like they're so comfortable wrestling. Those pants look so comfortable.
They're so talented.
Yep.
I mean, their characters can be like really, really fucking annoying. But as wrestlers, they're so talented that as long as they're being put up against an equal level of talent, they're going to put on a fucking clinic.
Mm-hmm.
It never fails. And seeing that, I mean, Swerve and Ospreay are so talented as individuals. I mean, I don't want to keep seeing those two as a tag team. But for this instance, it worked. And I mean, the roof just blew off the building. People were screaming the whole night. I mean, Ospreay kicking out constantly. People were just like losing their minds. It's like what you said, like Backlund is still in there.
I saw somebody, I wish I screenshot it, but somebody put out something that they were watching this event with their father. And and he turned to him and said, "This is my Berlin Wall falling."
Okay, I don't know that I could compare the two quite like that, but okay.
I wish I'd screech. It was I'm watching. This is my Berlin Wall falling. Mr. Tony Khan, tear down this EVPs. Jesus. That's my shitty Ronald Reagan impersonation. That match went 25 minutes and 50 seconds.
I loved at the end when like Swerve and Ospreay were on the floor of the ring, hugging each other and like rolling around. Like that was just really cute too. I was like, oh.
It was so effing impressive when like the Bucks had Will Ospreay for a V trigger and like they went for it, he stopped, flips over them. You think he's about to do another thing, and they flip him back to it and then hit the V trigger. I was like, well, that's it. We have to end on that. And it didn't end on that.
Oh, it didn't. It just kept going and going and going.
The biggest, and I'll state this publicly, the biggest regret of my wrestling life as a fan is that I walked right past the Young Bucks to meet Ric Flair. Just went, don't even give a fuck about these guys. Woo!
I mean, for what it's worth, so did I.
We were there.
I was with you. But at the time, for me at least, I had no idea because I wasn't watching wrestling. I've never watched wrestling as dedicated as you have, or as dedicated as Kathleen has. But you've also had a lot of knowledge about like other promotions, indie wrestling. Like, I just went for the fun of it.
Yep.
I went to have a fun night with you, and looking back, like, I didn't realize like how many people were there that night that now we would have to pay like hundreds of dollars to meet them. But you know, we went for a specific reason. Like if I had met the Young Bucks that night, nothing would have stuck with me.
Yep.
You know, because they would have just been like these little local indie guys. Not that they're local because we were in New York and California, but they would have been like little indie guys. Like I wouldn't have known who they were or what they were doing. Like I've never watched New Japan. You know, I've never watched like other stuff that they were involved in. It wouldn't have had an impact on me as it would if I had met them today. That's why we went to meet Ric Flair and Lanny Poffo. And that's who we were excited for.
Who wants to wear the ring? I do.
Oh yes, when I got to wear Randy's Hall of Fame ring, that was great. I mean, Lanny was a really sweet guy too.
He really
But
was. R.I.P. to the genius. Following that tag match was the women's casino gauntlet casino gauntlet match. I can't speak this evening. 27 minutes. Athena wins
I've
from
so
what spot did
this.
she? There was. Let's see. She also entered at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Later.
7, 8. She entered at number 9 of 12.
So, how many men were in the gauntlet match?
14.
So 14 men, 12 women.
Yes, there were a lot more women involved in the women's casino gauntlet match.
I have a couple of thoughts on this. Number one, no man came down with like his bestie and had his bestie just standing on the apron watching
No one
this
has
ring.
besties.
Every man came down by themselves
Yeah.
and wrestled in the match. The women were coming down with like their partner, their bestie, whoever. And all of those women, with the exception of maybe Harley, could have easily been in that match. And the only reason I say not Harley was because she had that Brutus Beefcake WrestleMania 9 face mask on. And I mean, Brutus wrestled in that mask, but Brutus also, this was the day when people were on a lot of stuff. So, maybe he was feeling different. But so maybe Harley is not comfortable wrestling with, I don't know what she's protecting, if I'm guessing it's her nose. But,
broken nose.
so she may not feel comfortable wrestling in that condition, which is fine. But other than that, like, why couldn't Penelope Ford go in the ring?
I really was hoping she was just like going to be number 3. I really was.
Just caps off and go, woohoo! Like, we've seen that with Pat McAfee, like in the Royal Rumble. We've seen that with Michael Cole in the Royal Rumble. Like, why are you have so many talented women.
Yep.
And you're bringing in women, like they brought in several women who I had never heard of and was like, I don't know if they're from New Japan. Like, I don't know what promotion they're from, because I don't watch Ring of Honor, so I don't know if they've wrestled over there.
The only one they brought in that I did not know was Sayuri, I think was her name. She was the second to last one. And the last entrant was Alex Windsor, but I believe she's Ospreay's wife. I think.
Wait, I didn't know his wife was a wrestler.
Yeah, she is. I think that's her. Like, you know what? We've got the power of the internet right in front of us. Let's take a gander here. Let's open up Alex Windsor's.
That being said, there were a few people that came out that I was like, I don't know who you are, why you're here.
Yep.
It's not like knocking the women, but it's just people were not reacting. They were not responding to them because they were like, we don't know who you are. So it's not like.
I'll say this in fairness. I think, and I don't watch AEW as regularly as I do WWE. These women had much more recognizable themes than when I watched the Women's Royal Rumble in January. And it was like, who's coming? Oh, it's them.
Right. Like there's too many women that are being on the side, which is not necessary. You're bringing in women that people don't know, which is not necessary. Like, you've got enough women on your roster that you could have filled this out just fine with recognizable names. And bringing in Athena, is fine because everybody knows who she is.
Yep.
And it would be nice to see her get a little recognition on the AEW side. She's been the ROH champion for I don't even know how long. Like,
too long.
Who's going to take that off for her? Not that I'm looking to see her like, hold like the women's championship in AEW and in ROH, but who knows? But she's like a good recognizable talent. I'm not upset that she won. She's a very good wrestler too. But yeah, I just feel like they just could have done that so much better. I would just like to see a match like that be treated with more equality, like the men's gauntlet. Announce more of the women, showcase more of the women. all they showcased were two women at first. It was just Stat and Megan Bain. And, you could have shown more people who were going to be involved, which to me shows that they either had no idea or they just didn't think people would care, or they didn't care enough to put enough effort into it. Like, give the women more fucking equality. They put on a really good match. People were chanting like women's wrestling. Like,
Athena got a huge pop, it sounded like, on television when she won. I think she's from Houston. So
maybe. I honestly am not sure where she's from, but no, she did get a good pop. She got a big pop when she came out, and she got a big pop when she won. People were happy that she won. It's just,
I thought because Athena won that meant Mercedes was definitely winning. We'll get into that. Because I figured like, Mercedes has all the belts. I've got all the belts. And then boom, here comes the Ring of Honor champion. Like, something's got to give here. But the following match
got a huge pop too.
What's that?
Mina got a huge pop too.
They showed a young lady in the crowd, like a child, like dancing like this when Mina came out.
Nuts. People
they want Mina.
So
There's a lot of men popping in the bathroom, I'm sure. Something that was a come down right afterwards, and I really didn't care about. 18 minutes. It went 18 minutes and 40 seconds and shouldn't have gone a minute past 10. The Hurt Syndicate defeated Jet Speed and the Patriarchy. That match did not need to be 18 minutes and 40 seconds. Holy shit.
Steve said in the other room, he said it was an awful match.
It wasn't good. And on Dynamite, they had the angle where like the Hurt Syndicate's out there and Jet Speed like beat everybody up for like 10 more minutes. Like, dude, this should be like a 3-move doom, boom, cut to commercial. That's the segment. I'm like, Jesus.
That dragged too long on Dynamite and
dragged too long on pay-per-view.
This match, I left during it because Steve went out during the women's gauntlet and got me a funnel cake. And I was a mess. I was a powdered sugar, fried doughy mess of my fingers. There were no amount of napkins or hand sanitizer to do that. So I was like, I'm going to hit the ladies' room and wash my hands. And when I went up the stairs to go to the ladies' room, I got stopped by this guy who's talking into his phone as a microphone. Okay. And I guess he was recording. And this is the guy that came up to me and said, excuse me, miss, excuse me. He's like, is it going to be Goldberg or Gunther tonight? And I was like, what? Pardon? He's like, is it going to be Goldberg or Gunther who wins tonight? And I was like, oh, Gunther.
In the main event of the evening, Gunther did defeat Goldberg in what was a decent match for what it was. We saw a fucking appearance by Chucky Pancamo, which just go back and watch it, Margaret. What a pop. They brought out Doug, I can't remember the guy's name, the head of security from WCW. They used to always slam on Goldberg's door to bring him out. He was accompanied by Gage. He was accompanied by Ernest the Cat Miller. And fucking Chucky Pancamo's there. And I'm like, what's he doing? He's still alive?
What was he doing?
He was accompanying Goldberg. He was just walked out, and then Goldberg hugged everyone.
But like, what's his relation to Goldberg? It's not like Goldberg was on Oz.
I don't know. Maybe Chucky Pancamo's from Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know. Is Goldberg Italian? I don't think so.
Oh, so then this guy asked me if Goldberg was going to give him 10 shout-outs or if I thought it'd be less. I said, it's going to be more. He's like, oh, you think it'll be more than 10? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the night. I'm like, yeah, cool. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there, powdered sugar, fried dough all over my fingers.
Should have figured out what show he was on. We could have cross-promoted. So if that guy's out there, hope you're watching the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast.
I just wanted to wash my hands.
Something we don't want to wash our hands of was the amazing... The first of 3 main event matches. I hate when people market that. There's only one main event. You didn't
finish talking about the Hurt Syndicate, bro.
What's that?
You didn't finish talking about the tag team match.
Yes, that's right. Because afterward...
Because I came back, I watched the rest of the match, and honestly, crowd was dead for it. Like, nobody... I mean, the women's gauntlet, they felt a little quiet at first, but you had it after... Osprey and Swerve beat the Bucks, so everybody's a little tired out. But the energy picked back up during the women's gauntlet because people's favorites are coming out. Yep. Their energy's building up. Then you've got this three-way for the tag titles. Nobody's thinking the Hurt Syndicate's going to lose. So everybody's just kind of meh about it until the end when Nick Wayne swerves. I also got a little lost in some of this because I was like, we're turning, but we're not turning. I don't know who's turning which way.
He turned heel while being heel. Pull a Dominic Mysterio.
So Nick Wayne, pulls out the chair and Kip Sabian hands him another chair, and Mama Wayne is like cackling and he's about to hit the concerto, and everybody's like, Cope. Edge's music drops and the whole place just went bananas. Like, the whole, you think you know him. Like, people just lost it. I was singing along too. I didn't know all the words, but
Honest Dave,
I sang what I knew
clearly. Yeah,
that's pretty much me too. I was
like, of a broken dream. Well behind.
Church to feel alive.
And then Cope hugs or looks at Christian Cage and goes, "Go," and we're like, "Fuck, nope, find yourself."
I was like, okay,
they're coming back.
Does that mean are you coming back? Like, that's what everybody was like. Are they coming back?
They're coming. They're getting back together. They're slowly getting the band back together.
So when Nick Wayne turned on Christian, everybody popped for that, and then when Edge came out, of course, everybody exploded for that. Now the energy's coming back in the room. We're all coming back. And then we went into the next match.
Timeless Tony Storm defeats Mercedes Moné. 24 minutes and 10 seconds. Felt a little long, but
I'll say this. We've had this discussion in the Nerd Patreon chat. For just $5 a month, you too can talk to us every day.
What a sell.
And so we've talked about, like, Mercedes as a wrestler.
Sucks.
She's not
good,
great, but when she's paired with the right opponent, she can put on a decent match. Tonight she put on a decent match because she was paired with the right opponent.
Yep.
And I think JP said, like, if Tony can't, like, carry Mercedes in this match, like, then Mercedes is trash. And I thought that they did very well. I thought they worked very well together. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I thought it was actually a very good match. Also, is Boston like a rival of Texas in sports or something?
The
only reason I ask is because when Justin Roberts announced he announced Mercedes and said from Boston, the whole place started booing. Now, I don't know if they started booing because they were announcing Mercedes or because it started when they said from Boston.
Yeah.
Which I thought, is there like a rivalry going on?
Maybe they just hate the Celtics. I don't know.
I don't either. That's why I was like, do we hate Boston down here? Is that
I love clam chowder.
So
if it weren't for sports, I could live in Massachusetts. It's great.
You can get clam chowder in other parts of New England, bro. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, I really like Boston, though. It's very nice. Yeah, I thought.
That's what I was like, Mark. But I thought it was a very good match.
It was a good match. Then in the other main event of our triple main event, which doesn't exist because the main event is the last match of the night, was Kazuchika Okada defeating Kenny Omega in a match that went 30 minutes and 32 seconds.
Was that it? I thought it went longer.
30 minutes and 32 seconds, bell to bell. Probably with entrances was like 10 minutes. I loved how excited that crowd got. Like, was the bell rang and went, holy shit, it's not 4 a.m. and we're watching this. Oh my God.
Do you remember the night that you and I went to God, what do they call it? Grand Slam, where we saw Kenny versus Bryan Danielson in
Yes.
the
That was
opening
the first
match.
one. That was the first one.
And it was a 60-minute match.
No, it was a half
And
hour. No, it was a half-hour draw.
I thought it was an hour draw.
It was in a half-hour draw. It had a
No
30-minute
way.
time limit because it was a 30-minute draw.
I thought it was 60. I thought we watched them wrestle for an hour and they still couldn't call the match. Um, but anyway, when they came out and they were in the ring, the bell rings and they're just standing in their corners and the crowd is just losing it. Do you remember I blew my voice out
Yes.
first 10 minutes?
First 10 seconds.
That's how I felt during this match. Like
It was the equivalent of that episode of The Wonder Years where they're singing and that kid's voice eventually goes. You're just,
I mean, basically that's going to be most of the night, um but you just had these two giants of wrestling standing in the ring, who have put on like absolute clinics in the past. First time doing it together in AEW, and everybody was just like standing there, like they knew something magnificent was about to happen. And they were just excited for that. Like right out the gate, they're chanting AEW, AEW. They're chanting, holy shit. At one point during the match, they're chanting, at one point during the match, they were chanting, "We're not worthy, we're not worthy." They were chanting for Okada, they're chanting for Kenny. There was a both these guys chant that got started at one point. You know, that's my favorite chant.
right
but
up there with "Fuck this rain."
Like everybody was glued to this match, and they were just so excited to see it, and they really appreciated and respected everything that they were seeing. I hated that Don. I didn't like hate it, but you know, you got Don Callis getting involved because, of course, he is, because that's just part of his gimmick. But you could have just had Kenny and Kazuchika just go without anything. Like, you didn't need any interference. You didn't need anything else. Like, they could have done just fine on their own without anything. They didn't need help. But it was funny to watch like Ibushi's some of his reactions at some point when he was like like he was just adorable. He's sitting there watching Kenny like
wild.
Yeah. But it was a great match. I think more people were expecting Kenny to win. I don't think nobody was disappointed that Okada won. I think people were just kind of sad that it was over because they just really wanted to see a great match, and they did. And then it was done. And we may never get to see the two of them wrestle again.
I will say this from the home viewer's point of view, and this goes for several matches on the evening. MVP did guest commentary during the Casino Gauntlet match. Let's see, FTR were on commentary during the Hurt Syndicate tag match, and then Don Callis was on commentary for the Kenny Omega Okada match. The guest commentators fucking suck. Like, they take away from the match so much because they're just shit talking the entire time. And I'm like, it's one thing if I hear Jimmy Hart on his megaphone cheering on or rooting for his guy on the side. I don't need this constant. It's like terrible. It just takes away from it the entire time. And I'm like, Don, shut the fuck up. We have Jim Ross here. Fuck off.
You know what I think is funny is that I actually don't mind Don Callis on commentary because there are times where I can hear, like, one of my favorite things when I'm watching on TV is when somebody like messes up or somebody says or does something that's like unexpected and you hear the guys trying not to laugh or they just start like giggling a little bit on the headset. And you know, somebody will be like, "What are you laughing at?" Like they're just sort of trying to cover or go with it. I don't think Don Callis is that bad. I don't mind him too much on commentary. Somebody like FTR, I would mind. You know, when I get like most of the wrestlers on commentary, I don't enjoy it. MVP, kind of the same thing because they're just sort of. I mean, Don Callis will hype up his guys, but I feel like also if he wasn't who he was, I feel like he could actually be decent on like color commentary.
He was with TNA for a while there, but and I don't mind Don Callis on
Similar in a Bobby Heenan kind of way.
and
Like not
I don't
identical,
mind it.
but
I don't mind it though, like during Dynamite or Collision or whatnot. But like this is their World Series. We're not cutting to some
right.
random guy who doesn't do this. And I'm
Right.
coming from a broadcaster standpoint where he's just stepping on everybody. I'm like, you got Excalibur there, who's one of the greatest play-by-play guys in the sport right now. You have Jim fucking Ross right there. Like, just shut up. Just shut up, Don. Shut up,
Right. You
MVP.
don't need
Shut up, everyone.
voices during a match like that. And that's probably like there are times where I'm watching a match and I kind of miss having the commentary. Like the women's gauntlet is a perfect example because you don't have, like when you've got people coming out and you don't know who they are, you don't have Excalibur there explaining to you like, oh, that's so and so who is the women's blah 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 champion over in New Japan Wrestling or something, like explaining like who they are, where they're from. You're just like totally lost. But watching a match like Kenny versus Okada, there's no commentary, so you're just seeing the match in all of its greatness with no outside influence, no other voices. Like you're just watching a great match.
Yep.
And that was much appreciated during that time.
But if we're going to talk about great matches, we're going to talk about my pick for match of the year right now. And that was the bloody fucking near murder that was Hangman Adam Page defeating Jon Moxley with Marina Shafir in a match that lasted 35 minutes and 55 seconds.
Was that the longest match of the night?
It was the longest match of the night, and it sure felt like it. But you know what? It didn't feel like it. Like, I honestly thought Kenny and Okada felt like it went on longer. Honestly, I felt like the fucking tag match went on longer.
I thought it went on for 40 minutes, at least.
I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, in our Patreon chat that you can join, patreon.com/WNRDB. For
Best
months on this
$5
broadcast, I have been harping on the fact that I thought Darby Allin would be the one to dethrone Jon Moxley as champion. And I thought whatever. And I thought that Darby Allin would win the Casino Gauntlet match and then pull a Hulk Hogan at the end of the night and be like, and Hangman's just there, blood in his eyes, get out there, get out there. But I'll say this. I said
Marina Shafir would be Mr. Fuji in this
yeah, pretty much. But I would like to exactly quote what I said in here because literally at one point a video shows and I can't tell what the fuck it is. And then I see Snowy Mountains. I'm like, good Sting! No.
The whole crowd.
Darby Allin literally climbed Mount Everest to cut a promo. But prior to that, I said, what if the roof opens up and Darby drops down from a helicopter? And then moments later, the Everest promo shows, and then who comes climbing down but Darby Allin?
He was up on the light fixtures. He was not. They didn't open up the roof and let a helicopter in.
Yeah, no, they would have imagine that, and the screen just drops below.
God.
But holy shit! But what's wild is that shows, and then here's Tiger Mask fucking. And I'm like, wait, that's not Darby. Darby grew a beard all this time? What? No. It was Bryan Danielson.
How long was he up on Mount Everest?
Yeah, I was like, whoa, did Darby grow a beard? And he looks thicker now too, but it was Bryan Danielson in a blue cat mask, and it was
we could see Darby up in the light fixtures, but but when Danielson came out,
roof flies off.
The roof almost flew off. Darby with it, but no, the whole place just became because everybody was feeling very emotional because of course everybody wanted Hangman to win, and then there's the year that they play in the match that he might not win because there were a few times where he almost got counted out.
Woo, and those were some close calls, man.
Very close call. So everyone's feeling a little emotional. Everyone's blood pressure is through the roof. And
that is no longer there.
Now you see this promo of Darby, and everybody knew they could see we know that it's Mount Everest. We know what this is supposed to be. So everybody's freaking out because they're like, oh my God, it's Darby. But then when Bryan Danielson comes out, you know, we didn't know if we were ever going to see him again. And you got the yes chants going. Everyone's on their feet. Everyone's fucking losing it. Everyone is screaming. And then you see Darby just rappel down from the lights. They lost it there too. So they're freaking out, especially seeing like Osprey get like fucking shattered and everybody's screaming. They're like, Swerve, where are you?
Yep.
Like, I'm going horse. Like, I'm like, Swerve, get the fuck out here. And then eventually he did come out and then he's staring right at Hangman because everything was very specifically calculated. It was a certain way for a reason. And I was like, okay, now I know why he came out so late, so that he could have just this focus moment alone with Hangman, where you're like, what direction could this go in? So you could fuck him up.
I was like, hit him, hit him.
And he helped him, and everybody was like Kermit the Frog, and so everybody was so happy, so excited. When Hangman won, forget it. Like everybody was just exploding with joy. And when he finally got that briefcase open, he was struggling, and I was thinking
it was cracked. That briefcase was cracked. Like the corner of the bottom part was missing. I was like, you could see right through it.
But you know when you see like a briefcase that's got like a code on it that you have to unlock it with, and you're like, oh god, David can't get it lined up. You're like, yeah,
hey man, which fast code? 1, 2, 3, 4.
And you're trying and you're trying and you're trying. I'm like, tell me he's not gonna be able to get the belt out because he can't get the fucking briefcase open.
I really thought it was happening.
I'm like, somebody please go help this man. And then he finally got it open and he takes the belt out and everybody's thrilled to see it again. And then I wondered because remember I went to, it was a taping of Dynamite that Steve took me to. And MJF came out afterwards and made a speech and I filmed it for you.
Yes.
My phone was at 8% battery. But I was like, I'm going to get this anyway. I'm like, I have a feeling something's going to get said. And Hangman made this very sweet speech afterwards. You know, before he made the speech, like he was walking around the ring and he's pointing at the crowd. He's going, it's yours, it's yours, it's yours. Like, I love that whole idea that we're kind of coming back to, like, wrestling belongs to the fans and the championships belong to the fans. Like Swerve and Osprey have been kind of preaching that message. Now Hangman's preaching that, like, this is not mine, we've done it together. And Hangman showed a lot of, he started to cry too.
Get it together. Jesus Christ.
So he's all bloody and beat up and he's like, but he's hyperventilating. And he's giving this very sweet speech. He's like barely moving. He's like hanging off the ring. He's like, you guys. He's like, I'm not gonna say too much. But he was basically like, he's like, you know, we did this together. And he's like ever since I lost the belt, he's like, I didn't know like where my career was going. I thought everything was over. He's like, I've, you know, been wallowing like in self-pity and misery for the last 3 years. He said, and tonight I feel happy. And I was like, oh my God. Like it was really like, I'll send you the video that I took. And you'll see, like, it was just very, very sweet and very touching. And it's really nice when people come out and they're like, wrestling is for the fans, and I do this for the fans, with the fans, because of the fans. So it was a really good night, and I'm glad that he won the belt, and then that was it. He won the belt. Like, nobody came out and tried to fuck him up. Like, MJF didn't come out and be like, ugh. Like, no, he got his belt. Everybody, and I think in general, everybody's just happy because that belt has been held hostage for like the last, when, October?
273 days according to Excalibur. So whenever that was, I want to say it was October, November.
Yeah. So like last fall, we haven't seen this belt. Period. It's been locked up in this briefcase, and to have him pull it out, hold it up, show it to everybody, like, just this overwhelming sense of joy and pride to see that belt, because it's a beautiful belt, and to see it again, and to have Hangman go through all these struggles over the last few years, and to have Swerve come and help him, and to have Brian come back and Darby come back, like, it was fantastic. It was a really high note to end that all on. Like, if he hadn't won, I would have been bad.
Two things of note in the main event. The fact that when Marina got chained to the guardrail, I didn't realize she was handcuffed at first. I'm like, oh shit, she got caught. She's stuck. And then I was like, oh wait, she's handcuffed. Thought that was a small, nice detail. And another also small, nice detail is they pointed out that the side plates were from Bryan Danielson because Moxley beat Bryan, and as soon as he got the belt, threw it in the briefcase. So they never put Moxley side plates on there.
Wow.
So small details like that I appreciate.
See, again, from where I was sitting, like, that's not something that I could have seen.
You should have watched the screen.
But, well, I couldn't see that closely to the screen. I wasn't looking at that. I wasn't even looking for that. Right. I was just like looking at Hangman, but also keeping an eye on the area around, because you never know who's gonna like jump up and be like, "Fuck you, I'm cashing in."
Mm-hmm. But
here's the briefcase, or in this case, here's the clipboard.
All of a sudden, Seth Rollins' music hits. What the fuck? R.I.P. Seth Rollins' knee. By the way, it wasn't good. It's not good, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't watch that video. I'm afraid to.
It's not bad. Like, he literally just lands, and then you just see him give out, and you're like, "Uh-oh, not good." So,
well, remember when Adam broke his fucking ankle? Like,
no, Adam, you could tell fucked up his leg right away. But like, Seth lands, he looks like he lands on both feet, no problem. But
apparently not.
Nope. So, what would you give the show? 10 out of 10.
Out of 10?
Out of 10.
A 9.
A 9. Wow. 9. Okay.
The pre-show?
Including the pre-show. All 8 hours you were there for. 8 hours, Margaret. It was 8 hours of wrestling. You put in a work shift with no lunch break. You had to eat during your lunch break. You had to work during your lunch break with your funnel cake.
Work through lunch? Does that mean I get overtime?
You're lucky that you got to go wash your hands. You're lucky nobody had to just spit on your hands.
I wouldn't have put it past some people.
You ever use Purell after having funnel cake? Don't work. Just makes the mess spread.
That's why I didn't use hands. I was like, no. There's no
like taking your hands, putting them in the ocean, then putting them on the sand. That's what it's the equivalent of. All right. Well, I'll let you go to bed because I know it's 10:15 there in Texas time, and here in Miami time it's 11:15.
And I got to get on a plane in 12 hours.
Oh, good God. All right. Well, Margaret, thank you for joining.
I'll say this. I'm just going to have my final thoughts.
Take care of yourself and each other.
I think that these pay-per-views don't need to be this bloated. I think there's definitely a handful of matches, even the gauntlets, it just feels like, why? It just feels like they're just trying to throw way too much in. One of the things I always loved about NXT takeovers was that they were 5 matches. That's it. 5 matches, leave them wanting more. They did just enough, and it was perfect. Some of these, they just feel like they're just squeezing in too much at the last minute, or there's matches that could easily be saved for either another pay-per-view, or you could save it for Dynamite, have it as a main event, and it would be very fitting there. But it's too much. That being said, I still thought that most of the show was pretty solid. I enjoyed all the little stuff that popped up, but it's also a lot to have to remember and process later. You're creating like 12 different storylines, like brand new storylines in one night. Mm-hmm. That's a lot to have to keep up with down the road. And especially when you've got, you're using a lot of the same players and you've still got a lot of talent that's just being somebody's bestie on a gauntlet match instead of being able to wrestle or have a storyline of their own. As far as who won championships tonight, I was not disappointed in any of those people. I wasn't too upset with like any of the returns. And overall, coming down here to spend my birthday in Texas with my husband, to go to a wrestling pay-per-view, it was worth it. It was a lot of fun to do this. And it was a great crowd, very receptive, a lot of fun. But yeah, we were there for 9 hours.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm grateful we didn't go to, because I had actually thought like, oh, maybe we should try to go to something else because there was a lot happening in this area this week for wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so glad because I would have been shot. Remember how we felt after Calf Mania?
Oh yeah.
When I was sharing a bag of cough drops with the guys from What Culture after SmackDown.
Now that you say that, I need to show you this because I was curious about how long that show went versus how long Mania, like how long Mania went versus how long All In went. And so I went through my photos, and here is me at 12:27, very hard to see there. Me at 12:27 leaving Mania. And then here's me at 12:27 p.m. What Culture line starts here?
Oh my God.
12 hours. Jeez Louise. Although
That
here's a
was-
photo of the parking lot at 1:14. So good grief. But all right, I'm going to let you go to bed because I'm going to go to bed as well. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Let us know your comments on All In the comment section below. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and X because, maybe we'll tweet something out. I don't know. But make sure you're subscribed right here on YouTube if you haven't already done so. And go subscribe to Margaret's band's channel, Bedside Manor. Like
we just
Doctor.
booked another gig.
All right. Woohoo. R.I.P. PJs. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, the future king of the nerds, DJ, DaveCTheVoice, and the magnificent one, the birthday girl, Margaret, and stunning Steve, who's somewhere in that same room, don't forget to tell your mother you love her every day because, like Kevin Durant said, Mom, you're the real MVP. Good night, everyone, and God bless America.
I love you, Mom. You're the reason I'm here.